forward, this is the saying that's coming in my head. The saying that's coming in my head is that I have everything I need. I have everything I need. That's what's being said. I have everything I need. Peace and blessings, y'all. It's your girl Melissa Renee with FellowMinded.com, and I decided to do a reading. I felt the need to do a reading. I just did a message of the day on TikTok, but that reading just compelled me to do a reading right now that's laid on my heart and my mind. And this reading actually piggybacks off of a recent reading. Well, it's recent right now, but by the time y'all see this, it probably won't be recent, but it'll probably be a past reading. And the past reading I did was on inner, how to heal our inner wounded child. So make sure y'all go check that out if y'all haven't seen it, because this may very well piggyback on it. Because right now I want to ask the Most High and the spiritual guides and our ancestors about how do we rid and let go of this lack mentality. Yeah, and for those who might not understand what lack mentality is, lack mentality or scarcity mentality. So you might have a lack mentality and a scarcity mindset, and it just means that you move off of what you don't have or what you could lose, what could possibly happen. And that's why I say that could be that trait of Virgos, because my moon sign is in a Virgo. So we tend to worry. That worry comes from a lack or scarcity mindset. Worrying about what's going to go wrong. And we're trying to rid that. We're trying to rid worrying and feeding off of our fears and allowing other people to feed off of our fears, because we want to progress and step into doing things that are our best interests. Moving forward with things because we know we are capable and we have the ability to do so, versus moving off of fear that we don't have. And that's another lack mentality or scarcity mindset. You always thinking in lack, and if you think in lack, you live in lack. It's always about not having. And just because you rich and got all the money in the world does not mean you don't have a lack mentality or a scarcity mindset. Some people are rich for the fact that they are in fear that they could lose it all, or they're in fear that they may live in impoverished conditions, like maybe they grew up. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into that. I'll shuffle these cards. We're going to see what the Most High and our spiritual guides have to say to us about ridding lack mentality and a scarcity mindset. I don't know if I should take these three. I'm going to set these three to the side because I'm talking about all three came. I don't know. Something say take them. So I'm going to take them. We have Venus. See that? And it says beloved. Venus. We have progression. Journey. These are all right side up. Oh, and then we have clarity, which is upside down. So this just means we have a challenge. It's something, it's a challenge there. So we know that Venus is going to be about, of course, love, feminine energy. So for me, for this feminine energy, for Venus, it's going to have to do with internally, us within. We also know Venus has to do with not only love, but what we value, how we deal with our the value of things. material things, or even us as a. I feel like this has more to do with valuing ourselves as a person. Valuing ourselves as a person. So I believe this Venus beloved has to do with the feminine energy, of course. Feminine energy is internal. Feminine energy, because it's right side up, it's a gift. So I think it's telling us to lean into our feminine energy, value ourselves and see the value within ourselves. So, yeah, it says beloved. So I feel like it's telling us to be loved. So when I asked the question and I said, you know, how do we rid, or how do we rid this scarcity mindset or this lack mentality, and one of the cards being beloved in Venus, I feel like it's telling us to love ourselves. It's telling us to look within. The feminine energy has to do with being compassionate, being nurturing, tapping into your intuition, all of the things that we need to do with ourselves. And when you have self-love, basically that's what it's saying, self-love. Because when you have self-love for yourself, you rid a scarcity mindset, you rid a lack mentality, because you then realize your value, and you realize and know that I am all that I need. I don't know if any of y'all ever heard, this is the saying that's coming in my head. The saying that's coming in my head is that I have everything I need. I have everything I need. That's what's being said. I have everything I need. I have everything I need. And that's how you kind of rid that scarcity mindset, because you tap into yourself, you connect with yourself, you build that trust, that self-love within yourself, you nurture yourself, you tap into your feminine energy and realize that everything you need, you possess. All the answers you need relies within you. And when you realize that you have everything you need within you, then you realize it's nothing out there that you need, because you already have it. So that helps to then build your mindset out of lack and scarcity, and build your mindset more into abundance and blessings and gratitude. It says Venus symbolizes your heart, romance, and the creative process. It's what attracts you, what you value, and how you value yourself. I'm going to say that again. It's what attracts you, what you value, and how you value yourself. Venus is one of two planets who appear to rotate backward, an apt symbol for your heart's unique path. So yeah, I feel like that's the same within itself. Like Venus, what it says, it's what attracts you, what you value, and how you value yourself. Self-love, how you look within yourself, how you view yourself, your self-worth. That's where you're going to help rid that scarcity lack mentality. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't value yourself, then you're always going to be in the mindset of lack, believing that you're not enough, believing that people around you aren't enough, believing that your possessions and your material things aren't enough. Just nothing is never going to be enough, and you're always going to be wanting more, which is a sign of lack mentality. It says soften, charm, open the heart. Investigate how you can make the situation more beautiful, more fair, and lovely. Remember this Venusian truth. People are fascinated by those who find them fascinating. Use diplomacy and seduction and let others come to you. Engage creativity, generosity, and affection. Venus calls you to your heart, to romance. Sings to you as a creative muse. Asks you what you value, what you want enough to get yourself in trouble. Come to know your heart. Know what you're passionate about and when you stir other people's passion. When your heart hurts, you can express the higher notes of Venus through acts of compassion, affection, or creativity. All become medicine for your sore heart. Pull out the art supplies, paint how you feel, rescue a puppy, help a person who needs loving kindness even more than you do. So I think that's just expressing to you how you tap in with yourself, how you see the value in yourself, how you gain that self-love and self-worth, is that you have to then, I told you, tap into your feminine energy. It's telling you creativity, feminine energy, affection, feminine energy, compassion, feminine energy. So it's just basically telling you, like, tap into your feminine energy. If you want clarity on exactly, I mean, I told you some of it, but go look it up. Go Google, feminine energy and how can I tap into this energy. I told you could tap in by being compassionate. First, being compassionate to yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop judging yourself. Like, you can't expect people to see the worth in you if you constantly don't see the worth in yourself. And Spirit saying they think you're judgmental. People think you judgmental because you always judging. And the reason why you judge other people is because you don't see the worth in yourself. So you actually projecting. Your judgment comes from projection. How you feel like you can't do it, so you judge other people who do. You got to get out that mentality. So the gift here is Venus encourages a loving heart. To heal your own heart and become a Venezuelan beacon. I hope that's correct. To become a Venezuelan beacon on the world around you, develop what the Buddhists refer to as a maitri, loving kindness, benevolence, friendliness, and active interest in others' well-being. But I feel like this message is more so that refers to you. So you need to see a interest in your own well-being. You need to see the interest in your own. You need to be compassionate. Everything is telling you to do with other people. Spirit say that's what you need to be doing for yourself so that you can build up that value within yourself. I'll use me for example. Like, expected so many things from so many different people, how to treat me, but I was putting expectations on them that I wasn't doing for myself. I was not aligning myself to treat myself the way I want other people to treat me. So treat yourself the way you want people to treat you. Simple as that, because that's going to be the sign to see how much you value yourself. If you feel like, oh, I don't want to spend that much money and taking yourself to an expensive vacation, or buying you an expensive outfit, or going to an expensive dinner, if you feel like that's too much for you to spend on yourself, then you shouldn't expect that of other people. Do for you what you expect for other people. See the worth in yourself that you expect other people to see of you. Now the next thing it says is progression journey. We've had this card before. So let's see. I'm trying to see how it correlates. It's right side up, so, and it's saying progression. So I feel like it's saying that when you gain a level of self-love, or better yet, I feel like it's saying you're on a journey. You have to be on a journey of self-love. Like, y'all always hear me speak about self-discovery. I feel like that's the journey you have to be on, because to know yourself is to love yourself. I tell people that all the time. You cannot love yourself and just start doing things that you think that's going to be loving yourself if you don't know yourself. So I definitely feel like this is the energy I'm getting from this card. It's a journey, self-discovery journey, a progression to getting to know who you are. That's why you see the mountains and the hills and all of that stuff in time. It's going to take you time to get there, but I don't even feel like it's saying it's going to take you time. I feel like it's a unlimited. It's no time. That's what I'm getting. It's no time. You can't put a time on your progressions and you constantly growing and getting to know yourself. Spirit says always something for you to learn about yourself. And in order for you to be able to get to that self-love, you definitely have to know who you are. You got to know things about you that you love. And it starts with looking at yourself and saying, I love these things about myself. And you got to look at certain things about yourself that you don't love. And if you don't love it, if it's something that you know you can change, that you know internally, now I'm not talking about if you know you can change, it's something you don't like based upon, maybe you don't like the fact that you get angry and you're quick tempered because of the results that it has. So then you need to tap in and you need to figure out why you get angry. And you need to then figure out the steps within that to change. Understand why you get angry so you can change those things of why you getting angry. But I definitely get that is going to help your lack mentality. You have to go on a discovery, a journey of getting to know and love yourself. Getting to see the value in yourself. Because Spirit is saying you've been living a life to where you weren't nurtured about who you were and your talents and skills and gifts and just the things about you overall that just are great and beautiful. That was not poured into you. So you got to do it yourself. You got to take yourself on that journey. So the gift with this progression card says trust the tides and set your own sails. It says progressions do not speak of a passing thing, but to the big sweeping arcs of karmic fate, to your soul's journey. Your present situation may not make sense in the short term because it has more to do with karmic patterns and how those intersect with karmic patterns of the world's progress, and less to do with your daily existence. So what I'm getting from this, because we've had this karmic pattern, this journeys card before, and it spoke on karmic patterns, and what I get from this is that it's saying in order to rid that lack mentality, to rid that scarcity mindset, is that you're going to have to dive deep, go into a journey. Don't worry, just be in the moment, be in the journey, and take what you need from that journey so that you can figure out or find out those patterns that fed you into living and being in lack mentality. I've said this before on a previous reading that I did that talked about what's stopping us from getting to our vision, and this card popped up and it talked about the karmic pattern. The karmic patterns was brought up, and I said, and I'll say it again, that yes, you have to realize your karmic pattern. And one karmic pattern that I realized within living in my family, and it's nothing against my family whatsoever, but it's just when you recognize things that's passed on, some of you out here, y'all are the cycle breakers. Y'all are breaking cycles. That's what Spirit told me. Some of y'all are meant to break these karmic patterns. And for me, the karmic pattern in my family is safeness, like coloring within the line, staying with the parameter of feeling and being safe. And that within itself helps to feed a lack mentality and a scarcity mindset, because to always want to play it safe means that you are fearful of something. You're afraid of something. You're afraid of taking risks because you're afraid of losing something. You're afraid of making a wrong decision, making a wrong turn. And that's a scarcity mindset that I didn't realize until I just sat down and started to really do the self-work on myself. Like, why didn't I make the decision to major in what I wanted to major in college? Because I was told, what was I going to do with that degree? But once I start believing in myself, and once I start doing the journey of self-discovery, I started to, and when you do the work and the journey of self-discovery, the journey of knowing who you are, getting to know yourself, you will automatically break certain karmic patterns. Not even trying to, you will. So even me sitting here right now doing this reading, I'm breaking karmic patterns because I come from a family where this is taboo, where this may seem foolish, where this is like weird. What is this? Like all of this stuff. Like this is whatever they categorize it as. So I'm breaking a karmic pattern because I'm leaning into who I am and not so much of who my family thinks we are or who we should be. Like we're not monolithic, we're different, and we all have different journeys and paths. So you're going to have to go on a self-discovery journey and break those cycles. You're going to have to stop those karmic patterns, and you're going to be the one to succeed. You're going to succeed, and because you're going to break the pattern and you're going to show what loving yourself, nurturing yourself, valuing yourself, and being yourself looks like. It's going to it's going to help you. It's going to show you're going to be successful. That's what Spirit is saying. You're going to be successful. You're going to be I see happiness. I see somebody smiling, laughing, enjoying life. And I hear that when they see you in your family or whatever circle, when they see you being happy and they see the success in you leaning into learning yourself, loving yourself, and you following and aligning yourself with your purpose versus of what other people want you to do, then you are the curse breaker. You are the cycle breaker. You are the karmic pattern disruptor. And they're gonna gravitate to you. It's gonna be a journey at first, but they're gonna gravitate to you. They're gonna come to you because they're gonna be like, dang, like what is that again? And I feel like Spirit is saying like, and all you doing is what has been done in the past, what your ancestors led you to do, what your ancestors and your family have done for years, but somehow, some way, something detached in your family where your ancestors aren't valued, they're not uplifted, they're not seeing the value. So when you see the value in yourself and you go on this journey and break those patterns, your ancestors, what they're saying is that you're going to honor them, and that is going to give the value to, you're going to show value to them as well. When you live out your authentic self and love yourself and see the value in yourself and start living more in a mindset of gratitude and abundance and blessings, you are honoring and valuing them. They're going to be able to live through you. Seriously. So the last one we came out is solar calm, clarity, but it's upside down. And I feel like this is the challenge. This is what's hindering you from getting to these two. This is the challenge. I'm hearing Spirit saying you don't have clarity because you're blindsided. You're blinded because you need to heal. And I recently, which made me go into this reading, because I pulled out a card earlier of the shy one, the heal. And what came to me was, and it's funny, this clarity card upside down is coming out, because what came to me basically was saying that it's somebody out there who is suppressing something that happened. They're suppressing it, and I feel it here too. I feel the same energy that you don't have clarity because certain things are being suppressed. Like maybe what's being suppressed is why you started living, or why you start being in lack mentality or scarcity mindset from the get-go. Where did that come from? Who taught you that? who instilled that in you. Sometimes as parents, you don't realize you are raising your children in lack mentality or scarcity mindset because of fear. Fear is a driving motive. So if you are fearful of, you struggle, what you went through, and you don't want your children to go through it, you might teach them to play it safe. Nah, don't do that, do this. And it's not malicious. You care and you want the best for your child, but you're doing it in a negative way by pushing fear onto them, making them scared, or making them feel worried about the future, about if they have the capabilities, if they're creative enough, if they or have the skills, the value to be able to live in their true selves, in their authentic selves. Because you kind of take that away from them when you don't allow them to figure it out for themselves and find themselves. You take that clarity away because they're only moving and guided off of fear of not being accepted, fear of struggling, fear of failure, all of these things. And that's a lack mentality because it's upside down. So it's definitely a challenge, which I feel like the challenge is like to find clarity. Find clarity within, and you're going to find it within it when you start to find yourself, self-discovery, get to know yourself, go on that self-discovery journey so that you can see the value and the worth of yourself. You can love yourself. You can see the beauty in yourself. You can be compassionate to yourself to say that you are a human being having a human experience. Okay? So it says the challenge. It is not the time to push ahead or spark change. If you try to motivate practical change in your life or try a totally new approach, it can feel like trying to light a match in the fog. Be patient and the fog will clear in time. I'll read it again. It is not the time to push ahead or spark change. If you try to motivate practical change in your life or try a totally new approach, it can feel like trying to light a match in the fog. Be patient and the fog will clear in time. What I feel that comes from, or what that message is saying, is that to be still. That still comes back to that feminine energy, guys. That's what feminine energy is. Masculine energy is about taking action, doing, going. Feminine energy is about being still, going within. So right now I feel like Spirit is telling you, like, this is not the time for you to be pushing and putting forth this and it's telling us you need to sit back. You need to find yourself. You need to know yourself. You need to nurture and love yourself. And by sitting and being, the clarity is going to come. You're going to gain the clarity and the understanding that you need to gain about how to move forward and not live in such a scarcity mindset. Because a scarcity and a lack mentality is rooted somewhere within us. Like I told you where mine was rooted, and I didn't find that and understand that overnight. I did not gain understanding of, I didn't even realize I was walking around here living in lack mentality or scarcity mentality. I didn't. Like, yeah, I have anxiety, but I didn't realize my anxiety came from, like, you just think, I worry. But this is for people who have anxiety. You have anxiety because you live in a lack mentality and a scarcity mindset. That's why you have anxiety. You're worried about the worst things to come. Your fear is driving you. And you need to sit down And you need to find the source of where that lack mentality is coming from. And you're going to find that through discovering yourself, getting to know yourself. Like, once I start doing the work, once I went on the journey of getting to understand me, it allowed me to understand the people around me and the events and situations around me. So, and with that, it further allows me to lean into myself and love myself for who I am. Because I have an understanding. See, a lot of times when you gain a knowledge of self and you know self, like, people can't tell you who you are. I don't care how much they try. Because you know this already. You have an understanding of this already. So I don't take it personal with people in my life, be it family or whoever, who don't agree with my lifestyle or don't agree with the way I move, because it's not about them. Because I don't have a lack or scarcity mindset, I don't feel like I have to alter myself any longer or change who I am to feel accepted by people and to feel a part. Like, this is who I am. You either take it or leave it. You're going to either learn how to adjust and love me and understand me for who I am, or our paths will meet again. And if not, then listen, we were in our lives for whatever purpose and for whatever reason we were in our lives. For whatever season, we served each other's purpose, and now, it's time to move on. But the fear is definitely the driving motive. That's what drives our scarcity mindset and our lack mentality. Because we are fearful. Some of us are fearful of being ourselves, loving ourselves, valuing ourselves. We are fearful of that. We don't know how people are going to accept it. We're not going to know. But I'll just say this to you, like, I can understand the fear because you're looking at what you are familiar with. But guess what? You feel fearful even with these people in your life. You don't feel comfortable with these people in your life. You don't feel comfortable to be yourself. Every time they come around, you got to change up who you are. You got to change the way you talk. You got to change the way you dress. You got to change this. You got to change that. Because you're trying to make them more comfortable in hopes that they're accepting of you. But what Spirit is saying to me right now is sometimes people know who you are. They know your gifts. They know you're special, your divineness, your uniqueness. They just know you a great person overall. But just because they don't like the fact that they don't want you to lean into who you are and be comfortable with who you are, because they're not comfortable with who they are. So they feel like, if I got to be comfortable and be this, I want you to make me comfortable with not being comfortable with being myself. So I need you to not be yourself too. Some people want you to make them comfortable in their discomfort. Does that make sense? Some people want you to make them comfortable in their discomfort, because they don't want to do the work. They don't want to get out of the fear mentality of just showing up and being themselves. So I don't want you to be yourself, because then that means that I have to realize I'm not being myself, and I'm not comfortable with not being myself. So I want everybody to have this groupthink mentality, or have this personality or this present that's going to make me feel more comfortable in being in my inauthentic self, or being in my unhealed self, or being in my toxic self. Like, that's just what it is at the end of the day. So while you sitting around here being fearful of not being accepted, or being fearful of what could possibly go wrong if you actually just live out and be true to who you are, love who you are, express who you are, while you being fearful of doing that, you fearful because you're unhappy. You sitting around there worried and agitated and anxious because you're not being yourself. You're holding back, you're suppressing, and you're not happy doing that either. Now, quickly, I will just go into just seeing some things that we could do. Some inner child, since I put up some inner child stuff. Let's open these inner child, get some little affirmations going. Alright, I'm going to use this for our final message from the Most High, spiritual guides and ancestors. See what they have to tell us. What can you take away? This last thing. So this came out. It's never truly the end, beloved. In this, everything will be okay. Now, look at that. Beloved. 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 In this, everything will be okay. So that's just your spiritual guides telling you, like, it's not the end of the world if you lose some people on the way. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end just because you no longer want to operate in your lower self by being something you are not. Everything will be okay. You ain't, just because you lose some people, it means that they were there for a reason in the season, and the reason in the season is up. I know it seemed like a lot right now, but I promise you, you're going to be okay at the end of the day. Let's see what else. You're going to be just fine. Flipped over. Let it come forth. Let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel it. Spend time in nature. Let the beauty of nature refresh your soul. That's just a way of telling you how to connect with yourself. How to connect with yourself. How to start that self-discovery. Spend some time in nature. Spend some time alone in nature. You know, I said this in Aquarius in the full moon reading. Like I said, spending time in nature, helping you ground, allows you to see that a tree is fine being a tree. A tree ain't trying to be a bush. A tree ain't trying to be a flower. A tree is simply trying to be a tree. Like it said, a wolf ain't trying to be nothing but a wolf. So spending time in nature is going to allow you to see that, hey, all of this beautiful nature around us, and there and in nature, these trees, these flowers, they're fine with being just who they are. That's all they know. And this is nature. So naturally, shouldn't we be fine with who we are? Naturally. Let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel it. Give yourself permission to love yourself. Give yourself permission to be who you authentically are meant to be. Give yourself permission to know that you are everything you need. You are abundance. You are blessings. You are gratitude. 19 that I pulled. And it says, endings are an inevitable part of the rhythm of life. They are bittersweet in nature and can seem to come at the least opportune moments. Though it is often true that when one door closes, another opens. This might not always be what we would wish for at the time, and it doesn't always bring us the comfort we desire. Many times, the open doors that endings create can bring about conflicting emotions within. If you have pulled this card, allow yourself to feel whatever you feel around this current ending in your life. And it's funny because this came out. Let it come forth. Feel it. So it's saying like it's gonna be okay. If you lose those people, like, feel it, mourn it. You know what I'm saying? You can feel sad about it. You can, if you love them, if you cared about them, you can feel sad about the direction of where y'all going, but you'll be okay. Because once you start seeing how things around you change, once you start seeing blessings coming in, once you start seeing opportunities and doors opening, you will get and understand why the Most High place these people out of your life, or allow these people to remove themselves out of your life. So let's look at 22. It says, many things occur in life that we may be unable to process, and most, if not all, of these unprocessed events and emotions can be stored inside of us. If you have pulled this card, then it might mean there is a repressed emotion, memory, or aspect of the self that is hindering you in your current situation, as repressed emotions can subconsciously fuel many of our behaviors and interactions within the world. It can be beneficial to explore this. Remember I said you're not getting that clarity because you're what? Suppressing. I said it. You're not getting that clarity because it's something you are not wanting to deal with. It's something, maybe you are suppressing who you are. Maybe just who you are is who you're suppressing. And you need to explore that lack mentality. Exploring that lack mentality, exploring getting understanding, learning yourself, knowing yourself is going to tell you and explain to you that lack mentality. At the end of the day, Spirit said, who you going to choose, yourself? Or you going to choose them? Because they choosing them. Spend time in nature. The earth is a precious gift, one that provides and one that heals. Its beauty nourishes our souls, and its vibration energy brings a steadiness to our bones. It grounds us and inspires us, gives us hope, and brings wonder to our hearts, and is the great mother to us all. If you have pulled this card, then nature is calling out to you. So I feel like nature is calling out to you because of this. Finding your worth, self-love. You're going to have to go ground. Start there to find yourself. This right here is well when it says, let it come forth. This right here. This is for this. You suppressing, you not getting clarity. It's clouded because you're suppressing who you are, or you suppressing whatever feelings or whatever it is that has you being in lack mentality. And you need to let it come forth. You need to delve into that lack mentality, that journey. You need to find that. And also with journey, like when you go on that journey and you start to find yourself and you stop suppressing who you are and you start loving yourself, guess what? Yeah, some people ain't gonna like that. Some people are not going to be able to relate to that. And it's not a bad thing. Some situations, if it's meant to be, that will come back around. But we are all at different levels. We are all going in different directions. Sometimes your path's going to meet up, and sometimes this is the end. Your paths might not meet up again. Doesn't mean you can't still be cordial, like you can't still be hospitable with people, but it just means that when it comes to you having them in your life in a way of having that connection or that interpersonal relationship, that's probably not going to happen because you're on a different you're on a different frequency channel. That's what I'm hearing. You're on a different channel. You in a channel of healing and living in your authentic self. They're still in the channel of not accepting who they are. So I think that pretty much covers it. What do y'all think? that pretty much covers it. So I'm going to end it like this. I'm going to give thanks and gratitude to the Most High, to my spiritual guides, and to the ancestors for giving me clarity, clearing any blockages so that I could channel and be a vessel to this message, and that I can share this message to you. And I pray for receptiveness for the viewer or the person this resonates and meant for. Hope that it helps. And so be it. Peace and blessings, y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next time. Put a comment. Tell me what y'all think about this. Like, have you been kind of holding yourself back? Have you not been living in your true self? Has a lack mentality and not having the mentality of knowing that you are enough and valuing yourself, has that been something that you can say that you've been living? Comment below. But yeah, love y'all. See you on the next go. Peace and blessings.